from their previous matches, I mean, they did have a lunch break for a bit, but both teams looking to make a statement, both showing really strong solo laners, and especially on ClearSkies' team, Serki playing that ridiculous top lane game, while on their other side, you know, they're just having solid performance. Muskie back getting a lot of control and a lot of jungle presence.
Yeah, and you know, the bands coming out immediately straight towards Muskie. That Rek'Sai band definitely going towards him. And no surprise with the Irelia getting taken away towards Serki.
Yeah, definitely Serki is a very heavy top lane Irelia main, seems like. And we see Varus banned from the previous match, and Azir as well. Now, from these two champions banned, it does seem like they are going to prioritize very likely onto Hecarim here if Hecarim does not get banned.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised to see a Janna ban. No, like I'd be surprised if a Janna ban didn't come out, because Idona has been playing really only Janna. Put him on a different champion, people. Get him out of his comfort zone right now. He's done so well on the champion, and it's just a surprise to see them not really take it away from him.
And an Echo ban, so it must be a jungle target ban, as the Echo top lane just didn't pan out last game. And Idona once again, first pick locked into that Janna, and we see Ezreal open. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, they're hovering over right now, and it most likely will be locked in. Ezreal has really just seen a huge performance in the mid lane, and as you can see, Muskie Bad has the smite right now, so definitely we know the path he's gonna go with, and now it's just a question of what can Kazakami do against Ezreal.
Yeah, definitely, and they're still waiting on it, but Ezreal would be a good pick. Now, that's not to say that Ezreal could single-handedly carry. He has definitely the high potential and damage output burst, but you do have to have a team comp around it. Usually it works better with a tanky top with a decent PO and CC. Nami is a good one with the great CC here with her tidal wave. We'll have to see how they build their team comp around Ezreal, and Kazakami picking that Sejuani again, and that's going to be a good pickup against the Ezreal to lock him down.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have a Sion getting hard over, and you know what? Sion is one of those top laners that really hasn't seen too much play, but when he is played, he is absolutely insane. While he doesn't have too much damage late game, the fact is he's near unkillable, and the destruction he's able to cause in the back line, it cannot be ignored. They really need to make sure that guy doesn't, otherwise it's just going to be impossible. Oh, they're actually hovering over the Maokai. Hasn't exactly seen too much play, but he's still one of those power top laners who has a large ability to do quite a bit of damage early on, and then later they're able to transition into a tank role for his team. They're going to lock that in along with the Jinx.
Yeah, very nice CC lockup with Maokai here. Now, the only problem is that we'll have to see what Serki plays, but Serki is a great top laner, and he could definitely pick a matchup. Anar against Maokai is pretty good. Ryze against Maokai, or even Hecarim against Maokai, and Fizz against Maokai. So we'll see how big Serki's champ is, but he could definitely pick a strong laner that is good against Maokai, and it is going to be that Hecarim pick again.
Yeah, he was absolutely insane 2 matches ago against Team Infinity. So seeing him again on this champion, not a huge surprise at all.
Yeah, definitely. And wow, out of Syndra hasn't been seen, but Paul will get that Syndra. So Syndra against Ezreal will be very interesting, and Syndra does have a pretty good catch and somewhat of a assassination potential, so Ezreal is going to have to be very careful. And we're just waiting on
like you said, like you said, Syndra hasn't really seen a lot of play, and I think a large part of that was due to the nerfs she received early on in the season. After that, she kind of fell off the map right there.
Yeah, definitely. And we're just waiting on last pick now. I think another tank jungler would be good here. Something like Gragas. Oh, I said it as soon as you picked it, but a Gragas would be great here just for that disengage against the Hecarim and the Sejuani. And if you do have Ezreal, you just need to rely on him to poke as much before you engage. Just get him to poke, put out as much damage output before you get into that all-in fight.
And exactly, like you said, like this team, the Jinx, the Ezreal, and the Nami, they're gonna be they're gonna do so well at just staying on the outskirts and poking whoever managed to get into their range. This team isn't going to be looking for a full-on team fight. They're going to have Flipstar and Muskybad just hold down the attacking in position while the rest of the team just starts poking them down, whittling them down until they're low enough that they either have to back away or they get the kill. This isn't a team that is going to be easy to hard engage against. This is a team where you're going to have to get a pick on, or it's going to be near impossible to get to that backline.
Yeah, but that being said, Syndra with a great range catch with that kick to stun, as well as Hecarim's ult and Sejuani's ultimate, so they have a lot of possible catches. So it's really crucial how Gragas and Maokai position themselves in order to block all that CC and be the front line they need. And that being said, with Ezreal and Jinx being the main priority damage dealers compared to Kate, Hecarim, and Syndra, if Ezreal falls or even Jinx falls behind in lane, it's going to be very difficult for the red team to get out the damage and just win out the team fights. So the big important lane that we're gonna have to watch out for is definitely this mid lane matchup with Syndra with the Ignite against the Ezreal.
Definitely, and it's really going to be all about the top lane as well. Last time we saw Serki go insane. He single-handedly decimated Team Infinity. If they let him go unchecked again, it could very well be the same story this time. This is a best of 3, people. So they have that one game that they can afford to make a mistake, but they really can't. They can't really try and play around that. They can't do bad the first game and then lose their morale. Otherwise, it's just going to be extremely difficult to come back. You really need. You can't underestimate Serki, because if he goes on a rampage, it's going to be near impossible to stop him. The CC is really all in the Gragas, the Maokai, and the Nami. Out of those 3, there's only really one point-click CC, and that's on the Maokai Twisted Advance. That's really the only reliable way you're going to catch out the Hecarim, and in that time, you're going to have Nami and the Gragas combo their CC into that so they can lock him down. If they don't combo correctly, Serki will just break free, and the extra healing he's going to be getting from Spirit of the Dread will heal him back up.
Yeah, and last time what we saw from Serki playing that Hecarim was just global domination. You know, getting that lead top lane and proceeding to teleport bottom after bottom over and over again, and just getting that snowball for his dual queue partner Serki Prime, and just getting a huge lead for his team. So it's going to be really important that Team Antigravity focuses on trying to not give Hecarim as much of a lead, or even trying to shut him down with the early ganks from Gragas and Maokai lockdown. And we should be going into the game very soon here. And bottom lane should be a fairly farm-heavy lane, as they both have sustain. Janna Caitlyn against Jinx Nami. So once again, iDonut with that Janna, and we'll see how well he does once again.
And right now we are getting into the loading screen. So for ClearSkies9 in the top lane, it's going to be Serki on the Hecarim. Then in the jungle, it's going to be Kazakame on Sejuani. Mid lane, it's going to be Holocaust on the Syndra. The bottom lane, it's going to be made up of Serki Prime and iDonut, Caitlyn, and Janna. And for Antigravity in the top lane, it's going to be Flipstar on Maokai in the jungle. Musky Bad is on Hillbilly Gragas. Then, in the mid lane, it's going to be Fear Wars on Ezreal. ITK Illusion are going to be playing Jinx and Nami.
Yeah, and I can't stress it enough that this anti-gravity composition heavily relies on Ezreal and Jinx, but most importantly Ezreal not getting far behind. But with this out of the blues pick with Syndra, you know, Fear War could get caught a lot by the Syndra with the Ignite as well as the CC. So it's really important that we keep a big eye, and Ezreal does have to ramp up. He just doesn't get the automatic high output damage early on. You have to get those items. And you know, if Ezreal's item spikes are delayed, it's just gonna be very hard for Antigravity to be able to deal in sufficient amount of damage against the Sejuani tanking, as well as the Hecarim and iDonut just healing the team up.
And what comes with taking Smite and especially going for the Rune Glaive path is when you get the jungle item, you've just invested in a huge power trough. You're not getting a combat item until you actually upgrade the jungle item. The ideal path is to get Sheen and then buy the enchanted jungle item after you got enough gold. But you see some people make the mistake of buying the jungle item, and that's just a huge mistake because it gives you 0 combat stats for the lane whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. And it's still a big investment. Even with the Sheen, Ezreal's poke damage is going to be pretty decent, but as long as Syndra plays behind their minion wave and just harasses with their constant Qs, you know, Ezreal's going to have a pretty difficult time, I feel like. So we'll have to see how Gragas is able to relieve that pressure. But Gragas has a lot of demands here. He has to go help relieve some pressure top as well against Serki.
Now, do you think that you max the W with this Ezreal or the Q with Ezreal?
Definitely the Q in my opinion. The W, if you max it, is a bit stronger in laning phase, as you can always shoot it through the minion wave. But Q definitely is going to be what you need for when Syndra is going to be shoving onto you under tower.
Alright then. So, looks as though we have Serki Prime and iDonut immediately in the bottom lane. It looks as though ITK Illusion and J-Dubs decided to take the Gromp. Now, while they did get a nice bit of experience, they lost a lot of gold to that tower. I don't know if it was completely worth it. Let's see.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a miss Gromp there. Jinx taking too much damage rather than Nami helping out and soaking the damage and just healing with the biscuit.
Yeah.
So and the Jinx is already half HP.
And a level 2 Jinx isn't really a huge threat. They have the Janna, they have the Caitlyn. There's very little that a level 2 Jinx will be able to do against the combination. There's just so much disengage that it's going to be impossible to stick onto them.
Yeah, and definitely, speaking about that Gromp, you definitely want the experience boost on the Nami as well, so you can both be aggressive, but with only Jinx being level 2, but being at half health, they're not able to take advantage of the fact that they got the level 2 spike here. And so all of a sudden, it's them a bit behind in laning phase with Jinx being too low in health.
Oh. Okay, I just realized that there was an echo coming out from me. So, sorry about that, guys.
I didn't hear.
Oh, I don't know. Usually when I use this microphone and my speakers are on, there's an echo coming out from it, so I thought there was an echo because I left my speakers on by accident.
Yeah, just a little bit of pause here, just reconnecting. Shouldn't be too long, but looking back at this top lane, Maokai got an early pink ward, so definitely looks like he is setting up for vision control topside. Probably going to place it in his tries to allow Gragas free vision to be able to pull off a gank top lane, it seems like.
Yeah, and there it is. Level 2 hit by Circuit Prime and Idona. And ITK he can't do anything. He's good actually going for the fight. The exhaust goes down. Idona, he's just throwing out auto attack after auto attack. One more will get the kill. Circuit Prime doesn't get it. The heal is going to be used. And Circuit Prime taking minion damage. First blood goes to J-Dubs.
By the Nami to save the Jinx, and Caitlyn a little too aggressive with that flash and is punished, and all of a sudden Jinx getting a pretty big lead in that bottom lane.
Yeah, I don't know what they were expecting. Caitlyn and Idona, they both tried to fight in the minion wave, and that is just a thing you cannot do early on. Minions just do too much damage. And Kazekame, what is happening? Kazekame just went, like he just died to red buff. I think that he's having an issue with his computer. Kazekame, he just did not move, didn't use any abilities either against red buff. I think there's a problem.
Seems like there is a problem with this keyboard, but he definitely should have right-clicked away from that red buff. That's definitely going to put him quite behind, and it seems like Gragas already backed and has bought his jungle item, so he's going to start looking for possible ganks here.
And yeah, this just puts him even further ahead right now. It's just not looking good for ClearSkies9. Everything is not going in their favor. Let's see if they can turn around. It's only 4 minutes into this matchup. It's still anyone's game. Goal lead slightly in favor of Antigravity, but they can definitely turn it around. ClearSkies9, the bottom lane has made their way back to the bottom lane. The bottom lane has made it back to the lane. They are a bit down in CS 9-21.
And Kate has gone for the long sword, and that's gonna put her quite behind, or she could be going for the bloodthirster, but either or, she is going to be a full item behind as Jinx, once she backs, will have the pickaxe.
Oh man, Holocaust gonna be knocked up by Musky Bad. He's taking a lot of damage, and there's Fear Wars getting the kill.
And a really nice flash body slam by Musky Bad, getting that Ezreal the kill, giving him that lead he needs, and the open there.
Yeah, Holocaust still had a flash up, he could have easily survived.
Yeah, and definitely not looking good for ClearSkies right now.
Right now, and you know, Circuit Prime, with Longsword being the only thing he can afford, it's like you said before, it's really gonna put him behind once ITK Illusion decides to go back. Circuit, on the other hand, in the top lane, he's just going to continue applying pressure onto Flipstar. He doesn't care that he picked up a Doran's ring. With the sustain that Flask is giving him, he is just able to continue applying pressure without any worry. There was a ward in that bush, so even if Musky Bad decided to try and help Flipstar, he'd just back away.
Yeah, and it does look like Jinx is actually going to get the wave in order to get the BF first, and that's going to be huge. And as soon as they get the BF sword, they should be able to just get pure control over this bottom lane, and they should look to freeze once they come back to lane with that BF advantage.
Kazekame right there in the bottom lane did manage to sneak out and clear a ward away from Antigravity. There's Holocaust, not going to be knocked up by Musky Bad, but the damage is more than enough to force him away. Just going to be eating up on those health biscuits, but that is just not a good position to be in.
Yeah, definitely not smart to be taunting when Gragas can barrel you and do that much damage. But now we see... I actually don't agree with this Maokai item choice here. I really think that he does need, rather than Righteous Glory, he does need Frozen Heart instead. For the laning phase, the armor against Hecarim. But also, I just don't feel like Righteous Glory is the right call here. You're a team that's looking to peel, not engage with the Ezreal and Jinx.
The thing with the Righteous Glory is that with the jungle Gragas, they usually already get Righteous Glory as their second item after they finish their jungle item. So just getting one for himself is completely needless. He just needs to focus on being that pure tank. The Gragas can always buy the Righteous Glory later on. Buying it so early is just completely useless because it's not really going to help you in the lane at all.
And already we see Maokai just taking loads of damage from Hecarim, and once again, this is a Hecarim with Ignite, so they do have to be careful. But
oh man, the complete bait coming out from Circuit Prime. Kazakame was waiting in the bush. They tried to get further engage off, but looks as though this Sejuani is a little bit too far back, and he wasn't able to get anything. Roam coming out from Circuit. He's actually just going to be taking that Scuttle Crab. Looks as though both of those junglers kind of forsaken that 80 gold. He's just going to take the 50 for himself.
And Serki definitely looking to try to make plays as compared to his previous game. He's just not getting that solo kill he was getting previously. You know, Maokai just not letting him bully him and doing a good job keeping up its CS as well as trading.
And look at that damage coming out from Flipstar. That Doran's Ring is really doing a lot of work. Unfortunately, he is running low on mana. Serki does have the flask to get some mana back up for himself. Both of those top laners have so much sustain in their kits. It's really got to be a complete guess as to who can get the advantage until there's a distinct difference in power.
And here we go, getting the blue buffs on both mid laners, and that's when it's gonna happen. But Grag is coming in bot lane, looking for a possible gank here.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk in. He is level 6, so he will have explosive cask. If either of them walk a little bit too far out of position, then they will be able. He will be able to knock them towards him. Looks as though we have a bit of jungle invade coming out from Musky Bat. Puts down that pink ward, and I really like that pink ward because very rarely do junglers actually check that bush, and it gives them just so much knowledge of the whereabouts of blue team's jungler. You can see whether he's going to be headed towards red buff, towards the Wraith camp, or the bottom lane. It's just such a good ward that a lot of people don't really know about.
Yeah, definitely. Musky Bat has just been playing very selfless.
Oh, man. He's getting engaged on my Holocaust, flashing away from Musky Bat, but the damage is great. And there's Fear Wars. He gets the kill. The Ignite's ticking. Can he survive? No! J-Dubs didn't have the heal up in time.
Yeah, very nice comeback to at least secure the kill on Ezreal, but once again, Musky Bat just having a lot of presence in that mid lane. Just like the previous game.
J-Dubs, look at that damage coming out. Serki turning it around, Kamikaze instead, taking the kill. Meanwhile, Idona just trading blows with IT Killusion. Can they get something? Serki Prime, he's level 6. Will the ace in the hole come out? There it is, and a kill goes over to Serki Prime.
Very nice play to punish that greedy Jinx. Even with her support being in mid lane, you know, being pushed that far up is way too greedy. You really need to play it safe. You already have a CS lead and an item lead, and now all of a sudden, Caitlyn's slowly closing that gap.
And right now, with the kill that they picked up in the bottom side, they're going to be headed straight towards the dragon. No sort of presence will be able to be given by Antigravity. Oh, look at that. You just saw 2 global ultimates headed straight towards Serki Prime. He was able to survive by the tip of his fingers. The tip of his health bar, he's actually able to survive. If only they knew, sent it towards Dragon.
And once again, because of that longsword purchase, Caitlyn just doesn't have money for BF and pickaxe unless she waits for it. But 100 gold off, she's definitely not going to wait for it, and all of a sudden Jinx has a pickaxe and a BF.
Yeah, right now what Serki Prime's going to want to do is really rely on skirmishes instead of full drawn out fights, because she'll be able to sustain herself with the Vampiric Scepter while IT Collusion, she's going to rely a lot on the 3% that she's getting from Doran's Blade, as well as the Nami. And later on, Nami is going to be running out of mana. So if they extend the fights as long as possible, if they extend lane for as long as possible, it'll eventually go in favor of Circuit Prime. But if IT Collusion and J-Dubs decide to just go full all in, they need to disengage immediately because they will not win.
Yeah, definitely. And Sejuani has had ults back up now, and she really needs to look for a possible lane to gank. Bottom is being shoved, so Gragas definitely is looking at mid and bottom side. And Maokai against Hecarim just being a farm lane here, nothing else. And Gragas, once again, getting those deep wards, playing selfless, and just getting enough vision control so that his mid Ezreal can grow and farm safely.
Right now, Kazakame just gonna be clearing out some vision for his team, and both the lanes have really just gone back to farming up. We do see Cirque and Flipstar fairly even, only 20 in favor of the Maokai at the moment. Let's see if we can turn it around. Still going for the Righteous Glory. Cirque, try to go back.
And Cirque has missed quite a lot of CS here, looking for a possible roam in mid lane, and he has lost quite a lot of CS under the tower while he has been gone. So he really needs to push his lane even further before he should make plays to try to roam around the map.
And there it is, Flipstar going in onto Cirque, trading some blows. Flipstar looks to have the advantage right now, especially with the Vengeful Maelstrom. There's the onslaught of shadow, but Cirque out of mana. Flipstar with the ignite down onto him. Can he get this kill? It doesn't look like he will be able to get the kill with the Arcade Smash. Meanwhile, in the bottom, it looks as though we have IT Collusion taken very low, and Cirque Prime still getting the kill. He wasn't able to be executed by the 2-Mega Death Rocket, and it looks as though he's going to get a double kill with the ace in the hole.
Yeah, and it just so unfortunate bottom lane. Jinx's heal was just couple seconds off, and she died before it got off cooldown. You know, that could have made a lot of difference, and all of a sudden Kate is now 3-1 in this lane after having a pretty big item deficit.
And they're just going to continue pushing that bottom lane. They will be able to get it, putting the first tower in favor of ClearSkies9. They did manage to turn it around. It's only 100, maybe 150 in their favor, but it's still in their favor. Let's see if they can keep that lead and even grow it.
And Syndra has to watch out. These Ezreal Mystic shots are doing quite a lot of damage now. She really needs to watch out with one Mystic shot. All of a sudden she could, and Arcane Barrage, she could just end up getting solo killed.
Yeah, Cirque and Flipstar trading blows again, but Cirque's having a tough time. He really just needs to wait for the Trinity Force where he has that power spike. J-Dubs in the mid lane looks as though he did actually eat an ultimate from Holocaust, but he was able to survive without any trouble.
Yeah, and already Ezreal got that needlessly large rod, you know, which obviously cheaper now, but he's already ramping up to get his secondary item, and once he gets that, his ult, Arcane Barrage, is going to start doing half of people's HP, and that's just going to be really dangerous. Syndra really, and Sejuani really needs to look to shut down this Ezreal soon.
And right now, like, Sejuani's spending a lot of time in the top lane looking to help out Cirque. Maokai none the wiser. There's the engage going on. Flipstar can't really go on. But what the hell? The Arctic, oh my god, the Arctic prison didn't lock down, and Flipstar is just going to be able to walk away from this.
Wow, an X-Midi there, and that's very unfortunate. Maokai gets to live, and Sejuani just not using the ult effectively enough to get the ganks off.
Super Mega Death Rocket almost finding its mark onto Cirque. Kazakame coming in for round 2. He's going to get the Arctic Assault onto Flipstar. The Arcane Barrage did come out down the river, taking a kill onto Cirque, and the whole gank just turned around on its side. Musky Bad, on the other hand, looks as though he's been caught out by Idona and Cirky Prime. J-Dub's there to assist him, so he should be able to walk away.
Yeah, just a great Arcane Barrage accuracy shown by Fear Wars. Just great shot there, and even this global shot from Jinx, Super Mega Death Rocket, as well as Arcane Barrage is just so much global threat. And Janna
what? Idona stole it with the Howling Gale! What? Oh, they are not happy with that. They did not get the dragon with 2 smites on their team. That has got to be some kind of record. Cirky Prime, he's gonna fall as well. Maybe staying a little bit longer than he should have. But I think the 2 kills for stealing away a dragon right under their nose is got to be worth it in their book. ClearSkies9, they have got to be happy about that.
And they are.
It looks as though Fear Wars actually. He's been caught out browsing the shop. Kazakame and Holocaust weren't able to get the kill, unfortunately.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Syndra just trying to catch Ezreal, but she just unable to finish him off. And at the end of the day, Syndra's falling behind and behind to this Ezreal. Just all of a sudden, Ezreal just ramping up really quickly.
Grump is gonna be taken down by IT Collusion. Cirky had the same idea on the other side. Looks as though
4 items finished on both teams now, definitely.
Right now, both of the teams have spent a lot of money on wards for that Dragon Pit. Let's see if they can transition that across the rest of the map and not let that vision die off. Infinity Edges on both of those 80 carries, like you said previously. But Holocaust, he is struggling to get a second item right now. While on the other hand, yeah, Fear Wars, he is so close to getting the Rabadon's death cap. Once that finishes, like you said, it's just going to be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, and right now, Cirky just not being able to show his dominance from his previous game. He just finished his Trinity Force, but Hecarim really needs his secondary item and some defensive items in order for him to teamfight efficiently, and he just doesn't have enough gold right now to be able to do that. Maokai already with Righteous Glory and almost Frozen Heart components.
Right now, 19 minutes in, close to 20 minutes. These teams are very close. These are some really close games. Flipstar and Cirky trading some blows. Right now, no one knows who's going to go in favor of, but the damage burst coming out from Flipstar could be enough to get the kill. Onslaught of Shadows going to use Flipstar, flashing away. Cirky looking to get something. He's not going to be able to get it. The Rampage gets the kill. Cirky,
yeah, very close
dodging
fight.
2 globals headed away.
But Maokai a little bit too aggressive. He should have known that Hecarim had just finished his Trinity Force, and there's no need for him to try to keep fighting him 1v1. They already have a lead. Maokai already has the advantage in top lane almost. Hecarim's quite behind, but trying to make that greedy play, and all of a sudden Hecarim also coming back. And I really like to see that Team Antigravity look to try to poke and siege a bit more. They're letting the enemy team farm back a little bit, and Ezreal just having to wait on his Arcane Barrage over and over again to try to make plays.
Yeah, neither of these teams have really been grouping together and trying to go for 5v5 fights or even a fight in either one of theirs favor. They've really been gearing towards small skirmishes and trying to get advantages off of that. And because of that, they really haven't been able to get a huge lead. The gold lead is only 500 in favor of Antigravity. And it looks as though both of these teams have actually stopped moving. I'm not exactly sure what's happening.
Alright, fight at top lane. Maokai once again 1v1 dueling Hecarim, doing a better job now that he's got the Glacial Shroud. And Once again, Ezreal finishing that dead cap, but Caitlyn, after having that being behind, he's able to catch back up. Gank here by Sejuani, oh, nice ultimate to finish off Maokai. And all of a sudden, Hecarim is just able to run over top lane now, and they're just gonna have so much pressure top lane. And Maokai right now is the only one that could actually defend, and Jinx here is gonna get caught playing a little bit too aggressive, having to use Flash here. Now, second time that Jinx has been playing a little bit too aggressive without her own support here. A trade going on bot lane here, but Ezreal... Oh, Hecarim looking to make a possible play mid. And Caitlyn with the amazing play picks up the Jinx. And all of a sudden there's pressure top lane, bottom lane. Now it's all up to Ezreal to hold his mid tower here. I really want to see Musky Bad taking some of these wards out. You know, ClearSkies9 just doing a fantastic job getting these deep wards, and Musky Bad has just been running through all the wards throughout this entire game now. And all of a sudden, Clear9 Scout is having full control to be able to take this dragon very easily. And Ezreal here gets caught and is forced to flash. Arcane Barrage is shot, but isn't able to get the dragon here. And here we go, Maokai and Hecarim once again, and Hecarim now almost has Omen completed. Just needs that 800 recipe gold. And Hecarim trying to fight the Maokai here.
Alright, there we go. I am back. Yeah. Looks as though the lead client actually crashed for me. So I had to
ClearSkies making big moves, slowly actually coming back and being ahead now. ClearSkies9 just making deep wards in smart plays, but mostly Antigravity just making very bad choices and letting the enemy team come back here.
Right now, looks as though Holocaust is going to be caught out by that Aqua Prison, and J-Dubs will be able to walk away.
And this team that ClearSkies has just looks scarier and scarier. Without the tanky Maokai, they're just unable to defend even. Caitlyn with that superior range right now, just harassing, and Syndra just doing a lot of damage as well.
And Flipstar, there it is. He's just going to have to back away from Circuit. Righteous Glory not going to get him too far. Onslaught of Shadows going to get him away from safety. Flipstar, he's going to be Turkey, and he has finally started hitting his stride.
And you know, like I said, I just have to question that build order choice. Going Righteous Glory, but not grouping with the team to get the dragon controls. And just finishing Frozen Heart, but getting punished for not having armor against them, and as well as misplaying a lot. And just getting punished by Serki. And Serki all of a sudden just has 3 kills.
And they're going to continue pushing down the mid lane. There's the tidal wave, but it's not really going to be able to get anything. Isaac Illusion, he's going to be locked down. And a kill is going to be for the Holocaust with the Ignite. A nice glacial Arctic going to be locking down as well. And Cast gets that kill. Serki Prime taking the tower for his team. 3-0 in the mid lane. They can continue pushing if they wanted to, but instead, they're actually going to back away. They don't want Flipstar to turn it around.
And you know, now all of a sudden, Maokai cannot deal with this Hecarim. So what do? You know, Antigravity right now needs to group up and look for team fights as 5. They cannot have Maokai top against Hecarim anymore. Maokai cannot handle him, and without Maokai, Gragas isn't tanky enough to tank for the front line. And you know, they're just getting picked off, and all of a sudden it's 12-7 kill lead for ClearSkies9.
And now Fear Wars gonna be coming out of the base. Serki Prime going back right now as well. Looks as though he's gonna be able to finish that Phantom Dancer. So once that finished up, he's going to hit a nice power spike. We'll be seeing quite a bit of damage coming out from him. Serki looks as though he has eyes onto ITK Illusion, and a quick kill going over to Serki.
And just people getting caught out one after another. 1-5 Jinx. You know, 1-5.
J-Dubs.
And
what is he doing? A quick kill. Another one going over to Serki. Kazakame, Holocaust, and iDonut all in the mid lane, trying to take down that turret. Flipstar and Muskybad, they are all there trying to catch onto someone. That's going to be the turnaround with the Righteous Glory. We did just see Muskybad going over that wall, but Flipstar is going to be the focus. Kazakame flashing in, going for Fear Wars. He's able to survive for so long, but not able to survive long enough. Serki Prime on the backside, trying to do damage. There's the ace in the hole. He gets the kill. Flipstar and Fear Wars, the only surviving members of the mid lane brawl. He did take down Serki Prime fairly low, but iDonut keeping him alive with the shield.
Antigravity able to hold here, but once again, Serki ramping up, able to get that tier 2 bot turret. You know, this game was very slow and Maokai had a pretty significant lead top lane, but with misplays and just poor itemization order, you know, all of a sudden Serki is just out of control, and I just don't know what
Holocaust, he is just immediately sniped down. Serki Prime still there, but even he is gonna go fall as well. iDonut hanging by the tip of his life. He should be able to back away without any threat of him dying. With Kazakame, he's gonna be locked down by the Aqua Prison. But what is doing? He's gonna fall very quickly. The Ignite onto Fear Wars will give Serki a double kill, and he is just gonna be able to get a triple kill onto J-Dubs. Can he get the Quadra onto Flipster and Maokai? Definitely a little bit too healthy to die that quickly, but Kazakame again going in, and he's gonna fall to Flipster. Now it's just the battle of the titans of top lane. Here comes Muskybad. They're gonna turn this around into a 2v2. iDonut making this a 2v2 now. Serki doing the damage, but he's running very low on mana, has the blue buff, but can he get the mana back in time? There's gonna be the Howling Gale. It's going to be missing. Flipstar with the Arcane Smash knocks him away. And it looks as the fight has finally disengaged.
You know, both teams overstaying there, but J-Dubs just very pinpoint on that Nami bubble here. But both teams just making a lot of mistakes and just getting caught by overstaying. But still, once again, the siege is on for ClearSkies9. And Hecarim going back to split pushing. And it seems like he is going for that Ghost Blade, even for more damage, and that's just going to be very terrifying. Maokai's just so far behind now. I don't know if he could deal with Hecarim anymore, but they need to just group as 5 and look to fight. And that's going to be the 4th dragon.
Yeah, iDonut so close to dying, but he should be fine. The teleport coming out from Serki, but the home guards has actually been cancelled by his Yomus. He still gets the kill onto the Jinx. Can he get another one? He's gonna be a nice ultimate from Sejuani. He locks down every single member of Antigravity. Ace in the hole, finds out Fear Wars. Holocaust still alive, but going through the rest of Antigravity, backing away. It's only Flipstar and Muskybad. Now it's only Muskybad. Can he keep the base alive against everyone? No, it's going to be an ace for ClearSkies9. They can easily end the game. These death timers are long enough that they can do it, but with no minions, it is not looking good.
Yeah, definitely, and Muskybad has to be feeling bad from losing that dragon to the Howling Gale. You know, all of a sudden now he's just looking at the face of death with 4 dragons onto ClearSkies9. You know, ClearSkies9 has so many ways to end this. They could get Hecarim to split push and the rest 4 push another lane. They could go for a Baron fight. They could go wait for the 5th dragon. It's up to Antigravity to be the ones to make the plays now. If they just keep sitting back and watching like they have been doing, they're just going to end up losing. They need to make a play right now.
and that is what they will be planning on. Gold is still very close, only about 5,000 in favor of ClearSkies9. It's still anyone's game. However, if ClearSkies is able to get that 5th dragon, then it's going to be very bleak for Antigravity. The next objective for on both of these teams' mind is probably the Baron. Anti-Collusion able to survive against the onslaught of Shadows of Circuit, but an explosive cast actually knocks Circuit towards Anti-Collusion. A nice ultimate from Sejuani, locks down up to 3 members. Circuit's able to survive with a nice Mikhail's coming out from Idona, Monsoon healing him as well, and this will be the turnaround. Guys, man, they pick up 2 kills, and now they can either go towards that mid lane or perhaps go for another objective. Circuit Prime, he's getting dangerously low. If Fear Wars gets his ultimate back up in time, it could mean a kill. Holocaust taking up that mid lane tower, throws out the unleashed power, not able to get the kill onto Musky Bad. Circuit, though, will be able to melt down that inhibitor, and they just back away after taking that down.
And this is just looking so grim for Antigravity. You know, they built the comp around protecting Jinx and Ezreal, but wow, great snipe by Ezreal here, but oh, can they get the Sejuani?
They're looking for it. There's the Talisman of Ascension by Idona, keeping Kazakame alive.
But back to what I was saying, they picked
must be going in. Flash coming out from Idona, Howling Gale as well. Can Musky get this? Kazakame maybe setting his life on the line. That's a flash coming out from the body slam. Idona should be able to walk away with his life. Man, this guy is difficult to take down.
So fast with that Talisman of Ascension and mobility boost, but like I was saying, they picked a comp to protect Ezreal and Jinx, but back-to-back team fights, we see Hecarim just freely get to the back line with his ultimate, but most importantly, Maokai just unable to lock him down, and Jinx just ends up getting taken out, and that just not good enough. They have only 2 damage threats, Jinx and Ezreal. If one of them dies, it's just a huge deficit, and they're just gonna lose out compared to the 3 damage dealers from Hecarim, Syndra, and Caitlyn.
So, do you think it's smart for Circuit Prime to actually get a Blade of the Ruined King? Because there really hasn't been a lot of pressure going towards him in fights. It's really all been about mispositioning than people diving him. So I feel as though a Bloodthirster would have been a lot stronger.
Yeah, Borg isn't not necessarily too bad, as Maokai has a lot of HP and so does Gragas, but Bloodthirster overall would have just gave more stats, but most importantly, the Bloodthirster shield would have been absolutely phenomenal against Ezreal's poke.
Oh man,
but, wow.
Yeah, going down, man. Holocaust, a lot of damage. He's gonna be able to survive just barely, but a nice ultimate from Fear Wars gets the kill. Meanwhile, Sorky and Flipstar trading some blows, and oh man, my client again.
And Maokai just trying to chase a Pony, but Pony Express Hecarim just too fast, and Caitlyn continuing to push here. And this siege, just Caitlyn with that ridiculous range, able to poke from afar, while Janna is able to just peel for him. And once again, just full word control for the blue side, and you know, Antigravity just has no idea for the dragon timer, and they, even if they did, they're just not in the position to be able to contest here, and that's gonna be the 5th dragon for ClearSkies, and basically should be the game.
And they're gonna be able to get this, and possibly even take the Baron if they wanted to.
Unless Ezreal goes for a Mystic Shot snipe.
No, they're just gonna have to give it over. This is gonna be Aspect of the Dragon given over to ClearSkies9, and now they're gonna head straight for the Baron. This is just going to be the unstoppable duo that is Dragon buff plus Baron buff. They're gonna clear out some vision, so Antigravity know exactly where they are, but can they do anything to stop it? No, They will not be able to do it even without the slide. They're not going to get it. Sticky Prime though, really aggressive. That's going to get up. It's going to be used. Meanwhile, we have Surky on the backside trying to catch down onto someone. A nice ultimate from Sejuani. He's going to be stopping everyone in their tracks. Surky falls, but the fight's still going to be going in favor of ClearSkies9. A nice in the hole. Going to be bursting down Musky Bad as well. The rest of the team, they're going to be able to push down the mid lane. You lost Flipstar, you lost IT Collusion, you lost a main tank and the AD carry. It's going to be looking very bad for Antigravity.
As soon as that Arcane Barrage missed and didn't get the Baron, they needed to just fully back off. But once again, just Hecarim able to just rush through and get to the Jinx. Jinx a little bit too far forward. You know, he really needs to watch that position. He didn't have heal, he didn't have flash. There's absolutely no reason he should be in front of its own tank, Maokai. Just really big blunder, and that could be what cost them the game.
Right now, they're trying to catch someone, but they're not going to be able to get anything. Maokai on the backside. He's going to try and turn this around. He's straight off the Surky Prime. Can he do something? Flipstar, the one-man hero. He's not going to get anything. He gets the kill onto the Caitlyn. Surky's on the other backside as well. He gets a kill onto Surky. He gets a kill onto Musky Bad. And this is going to be an even fight for both of these teams.
Jinx misses the crucial mega death rocket onto Sejuani here, but I gotta give it to Fear Wars, just doing a fantastic job getting these crucial snipes with his Arcane Barrage to keep his team in the game. 7, 4, and 6. I just can't imagine how much damage he's dealing. You know, just able to defend long enough, even after his teammates just getting picked off, he's able to hold with that ridiculous damage from AP Ezreal.
Oh my god.
Right now, aspect of the dragon is done, so not going to have that extra damage and burn anymore. Maybe the next dragon they'll get it, and they'll have aspect up once again. Oh wait, aspect is still up.
Yeah, and Hecarim with the Tiamat, and I really don't agree with this item choice. I really think he should have went the Guardians of Angels. He's been going in deep to the back line. He's been stalling enough, but if he has GA, he can just wait for his team to come. And I just don't know what he's thinking with that Tiamat. He just must be going for that YOLO, you know, kill or bust scenario here.
And right now, they're going to be able to push down that mid lane. Will they be able to get anything off of this? They don't have Baron buff, they don't have Dragon buff either. The inhibitor is up as well, and with the wave clear that Jinx and Ezreal both possess, they're gonna have a tough time getting it. I would not be surprised to see Surky just go in with the onslaught of shadows. Right now, that inhibitor taking a lot of damage. They're not exactly using their wave clear to take out minions.
Now Jinx does have her slash up as well as Banshee, so she really needs to position a lot better in these team fights. But even if she missteps, she does have the flash to get out. But
yeah, and without a lifesteal item, she's very vulnerable to being bursted down very quickly. She's gonna need some sort of sustain very soon, otherwise it's gonna be looking pretty bad. Nami can only heal for so much.
yeah, and they're basically in this tricky scenario where it's Maokai.
Flipstar, not even a tickle for him.
Hecarim just getting in that little chunks of damage with that Trinity Force, and Nami gets caught here.
Oh man, Jacob, he's taking down Surky Prime, getting the kill. Kasakama, he's trying to just force everyone away from that position. Without the Nami, there's no more disengage for them. Can they survive? Right now, Musky Bad just forcing away Surky. Surky just walking straight up to the enemy team. Donut very low as well, so he needs to be careful. One more auto attack from IT Collusion could mean a kill. That's going to be Kasakami taking the Super Mega Death Rocket to his face.
And they do lose the inhibitor, but they're able to hold the Nexus, and ClearSkies9 rotating for the top lane, top turret here. Oh, they're looking for a possible pick here.
Right now, Musky Bad needs to be careful. Oh, body slam and out control at the same time.
Antigravity does have that big wave bottom here, so they should, ClearSkies9 should send someone back and go for the dragon here. 5th dragon once again. And Antigravity should not allow this 5th dragon to be taken. They really need to look for a catcher.
Yeah, and you know, the game is at the point where goalie no longer matters. It's really all about who can get the better team fight off.
Absolutely.
And the death timers are also as long enough that any single pick can turn the game into your favor. This is just one huge threat. Like, both these teams are at a huge threat right now, where if they're not careful, they can lose. Even ClearSkies9, they've been ahead for the majority of this game, but if one person steps out of place, they'll die, and their team has a great chance of losing.
Definitely, and ClearSkies9 seems like they're just gonna put Hecarim to split push that bottom wave while they go for the inhibitor.
Oh man, J-Dubs so close to dying. Ace in the hole will be blocked by Fear Wars, but man, that's got a lot of damage.
Caitlyn does burn flash attack, but they should
wait in the bush. Suki waiting in the bush for a flip star, but I think he underestimated the tankiness that is Maokai. Right now, looks as though ClearSkies9 hanging around near the Baron pit. So once that comes back up, they're going to be able to take it very quickly. Musky Bat isn't really in a position to stop this, and it looks as though Aspect and Baron Buff are both going over to ClearSkies9 immediately.
And it does get taken by ClearSkies9, and Ezreal wastes Arcane Barrage here. The Chong cooldown, and that's gonna be
meanwhile,
very troublesome.
Flipside's 13.
True damage from that aspect of the dragon, just doing so much damage to even tanky Maokai here. And, you know, Maokai cannot defend against this Hecarim once again.
Yeah, right now. Oh, man.
ClearSkies9 just slowly whittling down the turret, and heck, Maokai just doesn't do damage to Hecarim. Hecarim can just get the inhibitor for free, and they just need to look for a possible engage top before Hecarim can get there. I don't think this is the right choice to be just sitting by until everything gets taken, and now all of a sudden, Mega creeps on the Nexus turret, and they're fighting a 3v4 top lane. And Caitlyn, with the ace in the hole, picks out Nami, but Nexus turrets aren't being taken down. Ezreal gets taken down by Caitlyn. Jinx trying to do her best, trying to clean up. Can she get the Sejuani? Sejuani, well, puts a stop to that with her ultimate. And Gragas left to defend the Nexus, and, you know, Team Antigravity just needed to... Their only option was to engage. Once you get that 2 inhibitor down, it's just so hard, incredibly hard. You know, most people even consider it an automatic loss once you get 2 inhibitors down at this point. And it just seems like at this point, the ClearSkies9 just need to do one final push as 5 just to close this game out. And I really... I did like both the team comps from Antigravity as well as ClearSkies9, but once again, it's just showing that Hecarim just so much split push pressure, Maokai unable to deal with them, and just unfortunately, Jinx getting caught and mispositioning in a lot of these fights, and they just don't have enough damage output with Ezreal and Jinx, and with Locket and Magic Resist, Ezreal has to land these Mystic Shots and Arcane Barrage onto the non-MR targets like Syndra and Kate, but even Kate just lifesteals with Bork and Bloodthirsters. So at this point, you know, they just have to look for a pick or just all in and insta-kill, you know, insta-kill the Hecarim. And here we go, Hecarim waiting in base, looking for a possible teleport here. And it seems like they're going to be pushing for that mid, which is smart. Mid inhibitor that's open without the turret. And once again, this is a best of 3, so even with this loss, there is still a chance to come back. So both teams, you know, just have to think about their possible mistakes. Speaking of which, Hecarim teleport coming in. And completely Antigravity just backing off, just respecting the damage output, as well as the Hecarim speed boost with home guards. And Sejuani now also a ridiculous tank. And Gragas a little bit forward, and Maokai goes and gets Caitlyn, but there's absolutely no follow-up as Hecarim just jumps the back line. And Hecarim not dying, dealing so much damage, and Jenna with the great Monsoon. And this should be game here. Jinx trying to do as much as she can. Ezreal not being able to do the damage. Caitlyn just so much DPS monster and takes down the Nexus. And that is going to be first game given over to ClearSkies9.